Today, we're talking about something that's been on my mind a lot lately, the future of our global food system. Now, I'm not one for fear-mongering, but there are some very real challenges facing food production right now, from climate change to political instability. These factors, coupled with tightening regulations, mean that securing a reliable food supply is more crucial now than ever before. So in this video, we're going to delve into 7 essential foods that you should consider stockpiling just in case. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with a pantry staple that's as delicious as it is versatile: honey. Who doesn't love a little drizzle of honey in their tea or on toast? But honey is much more than just a sweetener. It's packed with antioxidants and has antibacterial properties. Honeybees, the amazing creatures responsible for honey, are facing serious threats. Habitat loss, pesticide use, and climate change are causing a decline in bee populations. Studies show we've lost nearly 40% of honeybee colonies. This impacts honey production and the pollination of crops we rely on for food. The decrease in supply and steady demand has led to a surge in honey prices. We're talking a 15% increase in some regions. Stocking up on honey supports sustainable beekeeping and ensures access to this liquid gold. Plus, a jar of honey lasts forever, making it a practical addition to your pantry. Let's move on to another pantry staple that forms the backbone of countless cultures and cuisines around the world: rice. Now you might be thinking, rice? Seriously? But hear me out. Rice is a nutritional powerhouse, providing energy, low in fat, and naturally gluten-free. Beyond nutrition, rice is crucial for global food security. India's export restrictions have shaken the global rice market, reducing exports and raising prices. Rice has a long shelf life, making it ideal for emergency preparedness. Whether long grain, short grain, or jasmine, having extra rice provides peace of mind. Alright, let's talk about another nutritional powerhouse that often gets overlooked: beans. Yes, beans. Those humble legumes that have been nourishing civilizations for centuries. Now, I know beans might not be the most glamorous food item on the list, but trust me on this one. Beans are an incredibly sustainable source of protein, fiber, and essential nutrients, and they can be incorporated into a wide variety of dishes. But here's the catch: global legume production, which includes beans, lentils, and chickpeas, has been facing some challenges. We're talking about a 12% decline in production due to factors like extreme weather events, pests, and diseases. This decline in production, coupled with rising demand, has led to, you guessed it, a surge in prices. We're talking a 20% increase in some regions, making it more important than ever to stock up on these nutritional powerhouses. And the best part? Beans have an incredibly long shelf life, especially when stored properly in airtight containers. Seriously, dried beans can last for years, making them a smart and affordable addition to your pantry stockpile. So, whether you prefer black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, or lentils, don't underestimate the power of these little legumes to provide sustenance and peace of mind in uncertain times. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the canned meat in the pantry. I know, canned meat often gets a bad rap for being processed and, well, not the most appetizing food item. But in the context of emergency preparedness and food security, canned meat deserves a spot on our list. Why? Because it's shelf-stable, readily available, and provides a good source of protein and essential nutrients that can be hard to come by in emergency situations. Think about it. In a natural disaster, power outage, or any situation where access to fresh food is limited, having a few cans of tuna, salmon, chicken, or even Spam can be a lifesaver. Plus, canned meat has come a long way in recent years, with brands offering healthier, lower-sodium options and even gourmet varieties. But beyond its practicality, the demand for canned meat has been steadily increasing, partly due to recent events that have exposed the vulnerabilities of our global supply chains. The COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, led to panic buying and shortages of many food items, including canned meat. And more recently, outbreaks of African swine fever and avian influenza have impacted global meat production, further highlighting the importance of having some shelf-stable protein sources on hand. Okay, let's talk about a food that probably brings back fond childhood memories for many of us: pasta. I mean, who doesn't love a big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs or a creamy plate of fettuccine alfredo? But pasta is much more than just a comforting and delicious meal. It's a versatile pantry staple that can be used in countless recipes, from soups and salads to casseroles and stir-fries. And in the context of food security, pasta plays a surprisingly significant role. You see, the global pasta market has been experiencing steady growth in recent years, driven by factors like population growth, urbanization, and changing dietary habits. This increased demand, coupled with supply chain disruptions caused by events like the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine, has led to a surge in pasta prices. We're talking a 10% growth in the global pasta market and a 15% increase in pasta prices in some regions. This price hike highlights the importance of having some pantry staples on hand, especially those with a long shelf life like pasta. Whether you prefer spaghetti, penne, macaroni, or even gluten-free alternatives, having a few extra boxes of pasta tucked away can provide peace of mind in uncertain times. All right, let's talk about a food that's near and dear to my heart: peanut butter. I mean, who doesn't love a good PB&J sandwich or a spoonful of peanut butter straight from the jar? But peanut butter is much more than just a delicious treat. It's a nutritional powerhouse packed with protein, healthy fats, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. But here's the thing: peanut production, particularly in the United States, which is one of the world's largest peanut producers, has been facing some challenges. We're talking about a 7% decline in U.S. peanut production due to factors like drought conditions in key peanut growing regions and rising input costs for farmers. This decline in production, coupled with steady demand, has led to, you guessed it, a rise in peanut butter prices. We're talking a 12% price increase in some regions, making it more important than ever to stock up on this nutty goodness. And the best part? Peanut butter has a surprisingly long shelf life, especially when stored properly in a cool, dark place. Okay, let's talk about a mineral that's often taken for granted: salt. I mean, it's just salt, right? Wrong! Salt is an essential nutrient that plays a vital role in our bodies, regulating fluid balance, nerve function, and muscle contractions. But beyond its physiological importance, salt has been a cornerstone of human civilization for centuries, primarily for its role in food preservation. Before refrigeration, salt was the go-to method for preserving meat, fish, vegetables, and other perishable foods, preventing spoilage and extending their shelf life. And guess what? In a world increasingly concerned about food security and self-sufficiency, salt's importance as a natural preservative is experiencing a resurgence. But here's the catch: salt production, while seemingly abundant, is facing some challenges. We're talking about tightening environmental regulations on salt mining and production, coupled with reduced mining activities in some regions due to factors like resource depletion and political instability. These factors have led to concerns about potential salt shortages and price hikes in the future. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean we're headed for a salt apocalypse, but it does highlight the importance of having a decent stockpile of this essential mineral, especially if you rely on home food preservation methods like canning, pickling, or fermenting. Finally, let's talk about a pantry staple that's often overlooked but incredibly valuable in times of uncertainty: powdered milk. Now, I know what you're thinking: powdered milk? Really? It doesn't exactly scream culinary delight, does it? But hear me out. Powdered milk, despite its humble appearance, is a nutritional powerhouse, providing a concentrated source of protein, calcium, vitamin D, and other essential nutrients. And in a world facing potential food shortages and supply chain disruptions, having a reliable source of dairy can be a game changer. Powdered milk has an incredibly long shelf life, especially when stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark place. Seriously, we're talking about months, even years of shelf life, making it an ideal food for emergency preparedness. But beyond its practicality, powdered milk is incredibly versatile in the kitchen. You can use it to make pancakes, muffins, sauces, soups, and even homemade yogurt. Plus, it's a great way to fortify recipes with extra protein and calcium without significantly altering the taste or texture. So, whether you're a fan of skim milk, whole milk, or even plant-based milk alternatives, consider adding a few bags of powdered milk to your pantry stockpile. So there you have it, folks. 8 essential foods to consider adding to your pantry stockpile in these uncertain times. Remember, preparing for potential disruptions to our food system isn't about panicking. It's about being proactive and taking steps to ensure our own resilience and well-being. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future updates. Stay prepared and stay safe.